revenge, somebody might win it now. Go to ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the errands need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. And plus all your boys got expect.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's Week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First down, Mitchell, and his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll try the left side. Mims. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Let's go. 18 games. Second down, defense. Let's go. Switch. Defense.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. There you see the starters defensively for Jacksonville. They were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
This defense has a lot to be proud of coming off of the game they played last week. When you only give up 14 points in a game,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
How about this for an opening drive decision? You got 4th and short, just outside of field goal range in all likelihood. What do you do?
I'm going for it. I've got to go get it right now. I want to establish a tone. It's early in the game. I want to let my offense know that I believe in them. And you know something else? I let my defense know I believe in them also by taking that gamble. If we don't get it, it's okay. You guys will cover for me.
That throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Titans offense set to begin the drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your...
It got his man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 35. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. And a quick throw here that's complete. Pass across the 20. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Those are the touchdowns that aren't just scored on Sundays or on Monday night. Those are the ones that are scored during the week because they had that preparation and a great route run.
Oh, I love that observation because you don't just roll out on game day and say, okay, go run this route and let's get it done. That means exactly what you said. The practice had to occur beforehand, which led to the timing, which led to the touchdown.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. On the defensive side, here are the starters for Tennessee. They were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. To throw on 3rd down, Gilmore. Looking middle, and that's complete. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. 2 yards, good enough for a first. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 101 yards, and a score. Looking to throw. Gilmore. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on them.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after 1. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Go! 50 seconds to mine.
On 4th down, Gilmore. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Back to throw. Gilmore got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. From 3 yards out, and the Jaguars have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They'll run on first down. Mims. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Josh Allen. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A big-time return there, 40 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I know you ain't got it.
And again this time to the tailback. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter. 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Got to get to the 26 for a 1st. This is 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Gilmore. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line. On 1st down, Mims. And now look at him go. He's at the 40. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 68 yards on the ground. Looking to throw. Mitchell. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Second and long. And he's going to go down again. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now Mitchell throwing on third and long. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. Looking to throw on second down. Gilmore flush to his right. Now he's going to let it go. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On first down, Gilmore. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down from the 24. They'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Gilmore. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Jet to the ball. Jet to the ball.
So we have reached halftime, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
On 1st and 10, Gilmore flushed out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Gilmore. Wide open receiver complete. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one rips, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
Throwing on first down. Gilmore. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. They've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check. They're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. Or maybe this penalty, this pass interference.
And he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And it's caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. From 19 yards away. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they were hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
First down, Titans, gain of 12.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 31-yard line. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31. Mitchell operating from the gun. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throws Mitchell. Throwing again. And finding the tight end Hooper. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. That right there, career catch number 541, and that's significant because it ties him with Hall of Famer Kevin. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along. And
they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
Well, let's be honest. A lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the 4th quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the 2nd half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game. Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
7 yards there and a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Hey, Orbit.
2nd and 5. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. From 13 yards out. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff position? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Titans on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Mitchell, 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Now out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a first and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So far to this season, that is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just going to struggle. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And he fires one that's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Titans now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Throwing on third and long. Mitchell going to throw right side here. Complete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback and somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. That game's now gone final in the Meadowlands. And it's the Dolphins that wound up winning that one. A win would be their first of the young season.
On the ready. He makes 3. 218, chop it. I got it. Whip. Hey, exit. Shoot.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Squeeze. Kill. Snap.
Looking to throw. Gilmore going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. An incomplete pass on that last play. They'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Haywood! Leo!
Back to throw. Gilmore. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion.
59. Mike 59. Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world. General West. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Mike, check. Get it.
On fourth down, Gilmore. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second?
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This fielded at the 2. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory